And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford. Come right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week. Twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On the latest PCC Multiverse, which is going to go up later tonight and be there for your Friday morning drive for you on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel, wherever you get your podcasts. TJ Johnson and I cover the box office for this weekend, which includes the latest Sisu movie, Rental Family from Brendan Fraser, as far as a possible Oscar nominated performance for him, and of course, the big blockbuster hit, the one of the most anticipated films of this year, Wicked for Good, coming to theaters. We also discussed the Game Award nominations. We also discussed Star Trek's move into a different direction and more. So go ahead and check it out when I drop it later tonight or on your drive for tomorrow morning. The PC Multiverse on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel right there for you. Also, as well, wanted to mention for Saturday at 11 a.m., it's the Lakerholics crew. They will discuss what we're going to discuss tonight, plus also LeBron James and how he looked at his first game and what's going to happen with him going forward, plus the major moves in the front office. We'll discuss that and more. As part of the Lakerholic Spotlight, Jamie Sweet says he has got everything straightened out for now, although it's going to rain again tomorrow in Los Angeles. We'll see how that works itself out. But he and the Lakerholics crew will be there Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So go ahead and check them out then, wherever you get your podcast, and also as well on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch as well. Also want to go ahead and mention my good friend Drip Show. I had started the show with Kobe and Gigi. Wanted to go ahead and give them a shout out because I want to give Drip Show a shout out. Again, Black Friday is around the corner. Holiday gifts. You need to start thinking about what you're getting for your loved ones as a holiday gift, or what you want for yourself for that matter. No better place to go to than starting off by following at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter, coming up with an idea, whether it's sports related, pop culture related, what have you, and then going ahead and shooting him a message, asking Drip Show if he can get it done. Pillows, like here with Kobe and Gigi. Look at the detail on this. Absolutely fantastic. And I'm so blessed that he actually sent this over. Just cannot say enough thank yous to him for that. Or right above my head, you see Kobe right there on the canvas art, and also Luca as well. That was made by Drip Show as well. Also, hats, t-shirts, and more. If you have an idea or a concept you'd like to make happen, follow at Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter, and he'll let you know if you can get it done for your holiday gift giving ideas right there for you as well. Hopefully, we can get some guys in here for this conversation. I do know Joe Soro is on the way, coming up from San Diego to talk about this, something we've been chatting about back and forth all day. I don't think John Costa is still going to be here because I think he is under the weather, but give him a shout out at Lakers Corner on your social media and also YouTube as well. Legend from I Got Next Sports Media could not make it in, but I will try to catch up with him sometime this weekend if all works out, or on a future NBA observations with his observations on what's going on in Lakerland. And then, of course, also as well, the guys that you know will go ahead and be part of the action, and they'll always share their thoughts on our playback. Next game for that would be on Utah's game on Sunday night. So go ahead and check us out on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, or the simulcast right here on the Lakers Fast Break YouTube podcast as well. And if you are a member for just $2.99 a month for the Lakers Fast Break, you've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff coming at you, and you'll be getting first and foremost the PCC Multiverse in video form to you first off here in just a little bit. Also as well, you've gotten the Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football. You've been getting all that stuff first, or among the first right there for you. And then of course also as well, some NBA observations. You've been getting that first as well. So go ahead and become a member today. And don't forget to like and subscribe right here for you at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. And wouldn't you know, the man behind the Joe Soro experiment and the Joe Soro experiment on playback. It's here now. It is a good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out there. Joe Soro Experiment on YouTube. Joe Soro Experiment on playback. It is Joe Soro. Joe, just getting into things now. The major news of the day. We were going to discuss Austin Reeves, but the Austin Reeves thing has to go to another day because today a decision was made and Joey and Jesse Buss and virtually the entire scouting department are out, fired today at Lakers Central in El Segundo. Let go. Again, virtually the entire scouting department let go. Obviously was not going to end up well because when it came down to the Buss family voting on whether or not they should approve or not approve the Mark Walter $10 billion sale, the two no votes in the family were by, coincidentally or not so coincidentally, Joey and Jesse Buss. The statement from Jesse Buss is as follows. Dr. Buss's idea was for Joey and I to run basketball operations one day, but Jeannie has effectively kept herself in place with her siblings fired. That was according to Shams Charania's reporting earlier today. Your thoughts? The Buss family drama gets even thicker and thicker and more enjoyable to watch, my friend.
There's a little bit of sympathy towards Jesse and Joey. I can see why they wanted to. Well, they're definitely not about the money. There's some respect there. They wanted to run the Lakers, and I can understand the want to do that. But in looking at it from an outside observer, current landscape observer, even if they were the best at what they did, it's unfortunately the Lakers need more resource than what the Buss family could provide. And this is the beginning of the next chapter. First chapter was the official transfer of new ownership to Mark Walter and the Guggenheims. And then now it's reorganizing the franchise in terms of the executive side of things. So you're going to see a lot of this going on. And to remind everyone of this particular process, since Dodger fans like myself are familiar with it, the Dodgers pretty much did the same thing. The Dodgers had a pretty damn good GM, by the way. Ned Colletti was an excellent GM, very well respected, very good at his job. This is a man that drafted Clayton Kershaw, Will Smith, Corey Seager, signed Julio Urias, signed Yasiel Puig, brought in Justin Turner. I mean, this guy practically built the 2020 awesome. LA Dodger World Series, and would have been 2017. And arguments talk about 18 maybe not being that, but definitely 2017 what should have been the 2017 championship. So imagine that they came in with someone who was very viable and very effective, and he was still replaced 2 years later. New ownership, new leadership is gonna want their own people, and this is a reality that shouldn't be too hard to figure out, regardless of Lakers, Dodgers, whatever. It's just new leadership wants their own people. One of the things that they also did when they took over the Dodgers is they put a lot of resource in the analytical department and just resources in general, because obviously there's no salary cap in baseball. There's no salary cap in terms of executives, which is going to be the same thing here with the Lakers. They're going to be able to sign anyone behind the scenes to get this thing, to get this ship back to dynasty mode. This is not just, Lakers are not just going to win like they're winning now. The Guggenheims and Mark Walter want this to be the LA Dodgers now, like a perennial, year in and year out problem for the league. And my buddy Jeff, Empire Jeff, said something funny today. He said, as soon as this thing gets set up, everyone's going to start whining and bitching about how the Lakers are winning above everybody else, even though this current collective bargaining agreement is a vice around balls to do anything.
I'm again, we will see how it plays out. I know we had a lot of ideas that were discussed in our chat earlier today. Again, some are realistic, some are not. We'll have to wait and see how it plays itself out. But the thing is that remains there, Joe. It was a ticking clock, a ticking time clock. And I'm hoping Mark will come on here, Xbox will come on here very shortly to hear his thoughts. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. But I think the time was running out as soon as the vote happened and it was made clear that Joey and Jesse Buss were the two no's to allowing Mark Walter to buy the team, because of course what they said as far as the statement from Jesse Buss, that Joey and him were destined by Dr. Buss again, that they were going to run basketball operations one day. Another infight between siblings, Joe, because it looks like Jeannie effectively bought herself some time because the time ran out on Jesse and Joey.
From what I understand, there was a 4-2 vote.
Yep. And they were the two.
The 4 siblings from the same mother, and then Joey and Jesse from the they're the half brothers or siblings. And then there's I don't like using this word, it's kind of mean, but the illegitimate daughter that came later, apparently she didn't have any say in anything. So it was really just the 4 siblings from the same mother that agreed. And there was some infighting, which is not something we don't already know about what's going on. Again, I feel bad for Jesse and Joey. This is their family's business. And I think they have every right to be upset that they're not going to be able to continue to run their family business.
Even though they're technically going to be very well paid off.
Very well paid off. And that's part of probably the admiration I have for them. They didn't give a damn about $1 billion. They're like, we want the team. I got to hand it to them for that. But looking at it from the big picture, it's just not feasible for them to run this, even if they were good at doing what they were doing. The landscape of sports has changed. This team needed the Guggenheims. They were running on empty a little too long. You know, when you look at what's happened in the last few years, when we sit here and talk about somebody like, let's say, Alex Caruso, who isn't a superstar, but when you keep having to go back and say, man, Jeannie had to cut costs by letting go one of your premier role players in a time where you needed those guys, and to see what he did after he left, that's because the resources are just not abundant. The luxury tax was too much of a climb for a Buss family-owned team. It's just what it is. So just to give you guys an example, when the Dodgers signed Shohei Ohtani, there wouldn't have been anyone, not even Dodger fans on the planet, that would have said anything afterwards. They said, hey, we got Shohei Ohtani. Oh, we didn't get Yamamoto. Oh, we didn't get Teoscar Hernandez. Oh, we didn't bring back Kike. None of that stuff would have been a problem that offseason. You got the biggest free agent, arguably, in the history of sports. I think the only free agency that I remember that was as popular was the Reggie White free agency. And the reason why that was such a loud one was it was the first offseason in the NFL where there was free agency. So it was Reggie White, and then 30 years later, it was Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani signs with the Dodgers. And then a month later, or no, I'm sorry, not a month later, a few weeks later, the Dodgers sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto for $325 million, $1 million more than Garrett Cole, who was the highest paid pitcher of all time at that time with the Yankees. And not only that, but they had to pay a fee of $50 million to his Japanese team to finalize that signing. That stuff doesn't happen. It doesn't happen if a bus is owning the team. Now, you can't do that in the NBA, obviously, but what you can do is deal with luxury tax things if they need to do something. They're not worried about paying extra if it means that this team's going to win. And of course, the stuff that doesn't have a restriction, they're going to have the resources to do that. And in basketball, because one player can make such a huge difference, it's going to be in a lot of ways easier to bring in that star player, which is what the Lakers are going to be getting. Lakers are going to get another star here. It's going to happen. We just don't know who it's going to be. But they're going to be coming to LA with Luka and whomever is there still, probably Austin, and they're going to be a part of what could be very shortly the best ownership in the NBA, let alone all of sports, which is the Guggenheims to me are the premier ownership. No, all props to Oklahoma City. I think their ownership is great. San Antonio Spurs, they have a great ownership as well. There's good ownerships out there. But in terms of a resource and the skill set, there's no one that's going to be able to compete with those guys in LA. And it's just for Laker fans, get ready. You're going to have what the Buss family did in the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. You're going to get that when Dr. Buss was lucid and focused. Yeah, there was a lot of drama with Jerry West and Shaq and all that, but it came with wins. So it lessened the issues with all that. Plus, all those guys are maniacs. I prefer maniacs that want to win. I don't mind a little drama if it means winning. Everybody thinks they have their idea of what needs to be done for winning. I can't argue against Shaq. I can't argue against Kobe or Phil or Jerry. They're all freaking winners. And they're not just winners. They won like 10 times over. So you deal with it when the results are there. The results, unfortunately, since Jeannie took over and her brothers took over, or her brother, has been very, very mediocre other than a couple of stints in 2020 and 2021. And then, of course, I know that they made an appearance in the Western Conference Finals, but again, it still wasn't. The operation is still not where it needed to be, and this is the Lakers. This is the king of the city, although they are sharing it with the Dodgers right now. But those days are about to be done, guys, and good things are coming. Good things are coming, and the Lakers are going to be in very good shape here in a couple of years.
Once again, it's Joe Sorrell from the Joe Sorrell Experiment, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for listening. It's a Lakers Snack Pack right here on the Lakers Fast Break podcast. The news came down today that Joey and Jesse Buss, along with most of the scouting department, has been relieved of their duties. But I think, like I said earlier, as soon as they made the vote clear that they were voting against the sale of Mark Walter buying the Lakers, that pretty much sealed their death warrant. It just was a matter of when, not if, they were being removed from their positions, because you cannot continue in this capacity with Mark Walter running the team and knowing that two of the people that voted against you are still on the payroll in the scouting department. So I didn't think that was going to be, once that came to light as far as who voted for and who voted against, I think it came to light as far as that's concerned. Once it came to light, I'm sure the days were numbered as far as how long they would stay in operation. But taking almost the entire scouting department too, I think is a little bit of a surprise in and of itself. But I have a suggestion out there for anybody that's listening in El Segundo that is in the front office for the Lakers. Stone Hansen, I'll throw his name out there for scouting. He would be someone that could come in there and I think could really help the scouting department. He's been with us for years. Him, Rafael Barlow, although Rafael Barlow now works with the Mavs overseas, scouting for them. I think, again, Stone Hansen, love to see him get a position within the scouting department of the Lakers. And, that would be a dream come true for him. But throwing his name out there, hopefully somebody will listen someday to that. But needless to say, there is going to be some changes made. But who is the next to go? According to what was said and what the statement that was made, this sibling rivalry has gotten nasty to even a higher level. And the inference was that Jeannie made the call on this, and that Jeannie is doing it to keep her place in the hierarchy as far as the governorship is concerned. But a lot of names have been talked about, as far as Rob, the Rambi, being moved out at this point in time. Who is next on the hit list if that's the case for Mark Walter?
Everyone is going to be gone. There's no one else. There's no one that's going to stay. It's all going to be cleaned out. It's just that it's going to be in phases. Jeannie will probably be the last one, but this operation is. I'm going to reiterate this again. You don't pay $10 billion to be told what to do. Just saying. I'm more interested in finding out, actually, will AEG at some point sell the property and the arena? Is that under discussion? Because that could mean a lot of good things for that area for the Lakers. And maybe Mark.
Let me just say this: we have seen Mark Cuban in recent days gain some prominence back into the decision making for Dallas Mavericks, even though he is still a minority owner at this point in time. Of course, we see something similar now with Jeannie Buss. Was the call? I'm assuming the call had to been approved or was made by Mark Walter, but again, this perpetuates that drama inside the Lakers and especially the Buss family.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really cares at this point. The drama that's going on with the family has been there for a while. If the rumor is Jeannie got a leg up on things, or the boys try to not get the team sold for whatever reason, I honestly, Gerald, I don't really give two craps about any of that. I'm more I'm more focused on what's the next steps. What is the next step in terms of establishing the talent everywhere around this team so that this team can start focusing on building the next dynasty? Because that's what Mark Walter is going to do. That is what you have to look forward to, Laker fans. It's going to happen, and it's not going to take that long because they do have Luka Doncic about to hit his prime squared. His last 15 games, by the way, in case those who don't know, it's the best stretch of his career. Imagine that. So Luka has adapted to LA rather quickly, I would say. And you don't poke greatness. And Dallas poked greatness, and greatness came in the best shape of its life and is already having a career year. So these are things that make me forget about all this childish high school family BS. I couldn't care one squirt about the drama that the Buss had.
I love the drama. I care about it. I'm so interested in it. It's so fun.
I am on the exact opposite. I couldn't care less about
I've got
them.
my popcorn ready. I'm doing the Michael Jackson game.
If this, I take great pride in understanding human behavior, and it's a little easier for me, obviously, being in the same room to identify it. Sometimes it takes me a little longer when I'm visually seeing it on TV or through an app, whatever. But you guys know I have very little concern over Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, the Buss family in general. Not in a malicious way. I just don't relate to how they are in any way. And it comes from maybe the fact that I would slit any person's throat for my sibling. And I don't really understand how this is going on. I don't really have a lot of respect for it. I know some people are different. I know there's no control sometimes over things. I get it. I mean, human behavior, I get it. But I don't relate to it. I don't relate to fighting with my family. I don't have that problem with my inner family circle. I just don't, and I don't think I ever will. Oh, maybe it's because I'm not rich. I'm not a billionaire, right? I guess that's the excuse. But then I start asking the question, well, why is Mark Walter a billionaire and not a piece of garbage? How come for 13 seasons, the Dodgers have not only become a dynasty, uh, a walking diamond of excellence, and all you see in the dugout, all you see in the clubhouse, all you see in the backstage Dodger videos is family, friends, people getting along. All you got to do is look at how these guys act together. They absolutely love each other. And that's the family. That is the family. And these are strangers to each other. They're not blood either. But they act like they are one big blood family. And that is from a billionaire owner, right? Usually billionaires are scumbags. Not this one.
Okay.
Have that environment in the.
Okay. You were, but you're good now. You're good
Okay.
now.
This the attitude and the image of the LA Lakers once the Buss family's gone, and I hate to say it like this because the Buss family should be absolutely cherished and celebrated because the Buss family was the best ownership between 1979, in my view, until the day Dr. Buss passed away. I don't think you can get an argument there. You can say George Steinbrenner, when he came back in 1990, running the Yankees, you could say to some degree maybe that he was one of those guys, even though it's kind of a crazy guy. But overall, from everything, from winning to the way he ran things, the respect, the community, everything, I'd be hard pressed to see anyone have more results with that kind of image, with that kind of response, with that kind of respect, more than Dr. Buss between 1979 when he took over the Lakers until 2014 when he passed away. Those from 79 to 14, you'd have to really convince me on who was a better owner in sports.
Well, that's one of the things I want to go into. And once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break, Lakers Snack Pack for you. The news came down today that most of the scouting department and Jesse and Joey Buss have been terminated by Governor Jeannie Buss or owner Mark Walter. Your guesses on that is just the organization just made a statement as far as their termination is concerned. But you mentioned Dr. Buss's passing. And I want to go back to the statement that was made earlier today from Jesse Buss that was made to Shams Charania of ESPN. He said Dr. Buss's idea was for Joey and I being Jesse, to run the basketball operations one day. But Jeannie has effectively kept herself in place with her siblings fired. Again, goes back to what you were talking about with Dr. Buss passing away and what his idea was and vision was for the future of this organization after his life ended and what it would be like going forward. It seems like different conversations were either interpreted differently or made differently. And whatever the presumption was by Joey and Jesse, it didn't come to fruition. Like you said, I respect them for standing up for their beliefs and, not easily just going ahead and taking the money and run. They wanted to go ahead and run the Lakers one day once Jeannie decided to call it a day. Obviously, that's not going to take place. And with that, though, again, it comes the caveat of what was said, what was believed, and why there's so much interfeuding between his family. Because unlike your family, when it feuds, or if it ever feuds, or my family, whenever it feuds, or feuds, it's not on a public forum like this, and the results aren't so as catastrophic as what we see with the Lakers going on. I don't believe it will be a distraction for the team, but it certainly will still continue to cause drama behind the scenes.
It's irrelevant.
I don't think it's irrelevant. I disagree.
It has nothing to do with what's about to happen. I don't give a shit about the bus bullshit.
That's your entire scouting department. So yes, it is.
No, it doesn't matter. What the fuck are you talking about? They are going to run an operation that you've never seen before. It's going to be top notch. Who gives a shit? Why do you care?
I care because it's major news that's out there.
Who cares what the news is? It's just fluff. It's just for numbers and papers or clicks, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It does.
I don't give a shit. No one should give a shit. Mark Walter is the owner of the Lakers. He is going to set this up the way it needs to get set up, and none of you are going to have to worry about it anymore. We don't have to worry about this infighting or this bullshit.
You spent 10 minutes talking about the legacy of Dr. Jerry Buss.
Yeah.
This is still
the legacy stopped in 2014.
Are the legacy of the Buss family.
He's not. No, I'm talking about basketball. I'm not talking about family legacy.
Well, that it intertwined with the Los Angeles Lakers for the past few decades, and
it was not good, other than a little run in 2020
when the Lakers fired two of the Buss brothers today. That is still big news. I don't care if you don't care.
To me, it's not big news. I don't. It's stuff that was going to happen, or you should have known that already. This was bound to happen.
Mark, I don't know if you saw the title of the show, but what is everybody talking about today? Two Buss brothers, and an almost.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about in the NBA. What are you going to talk about? John Morant? What are you going to talk about in the NBA? This is big news because there's a transition happening.
You just said it was irrelevant. How can it be irrelevant and big news?
It's irrelevant to me and Laker fans, not the news.
No,
the news, it's good. They want this drama.
Here's where you're wrong. It's not irrelevant.
No, I'm not wrong. No. Laker fans have nothing to worry about now. This is all fluff. This is all just media fluff for clicks.
For Lakers fans.
What are you worried about? Why do you give a shit about whether Joey and Jesse get fired?
No one cares about this because I care about this.
Why?
I am a Lakers fan.
Why do you care? This is a good thing.
Because it's interesting to see the stuff behind the scenes in regards
Why is it interesting?
The team is continuing to run on a daily basis, going awry. Because
I don't think it's interesting at all. I think it's a waste of life.
Keep control of the team.
If you want to watch reality TV, go watch the Housewives Skanks of LA or Beverly Hills, whoever the hell they are now. It doesn't matter. This was going to happen anyways.
I'll stick to them.
This was going to happen. I don't know. There's a surprise.
No, as soon as they voted no the sale, you knew it was going to happen. It's a matter of time.
So this is the first step.
It's the statement that was made in regards to their sister, who is still governor of the team. That's the interesting part of it all, as far as they feel this was still a continued power play for Jeannie to keep her seat at the table.
She doesn't really have a seat. It's a fake seat, just like most of these guys in their fake lives. She doesn't own the team anymore. What? So she can be the mascot.
She still owns a part of the team. Yes, she does.
Okay. So Magic owns a part of the Dodgers. How many decisions does he make?
Cuban owns a part of the Mavericks, and he came back.
Yeah, they brought him back because they don't know what the hell they're doing in Dallas. And Mr. Cuban did enough bad deals probably in his life that forced him to sell the team. Apparently,
letting you know that there is a correlation to that.
I don't think there's any. I wouldn't want to compare myself to anything that Mark Cuban does. Okay, and I wouldn't want to even discuss anything that Genie does as well.
I just again, they knew their path as soon as they went ahead and they said no on the sale. They should have known where this was going to go. So it's just that simple. But it is interesting, Joe. And a lot of Lakers fans out there do care about it. If you don't, that's your wish.
Care about what?
I respect your decision on that. But
what
don't
are
speak
you caring
for Lakers
about?
fans when you do.
I don't understand what this caring means.
But you said Lakers fans don't care. Those were your exact words.
I said Lakers fans shouldn't care about losing Jesse and Joey.
They shouldn't care. There are some that do. I'm a Lakers fan, and I do.
No,
care.
you shouldn't. You shouldn't care about.
This
is all part of the process. You should be happy about this.
Don't ever speak for me.
I will speak for you anytime I want.
No, and I will speak for you every time I want.
No, you can't do that. No, mind your business.
And you can't do that either. See, you lose this conversation every single time because you cannot speak.
No, I don't lose. I don't lose any conversations.
You just lost this one. Sorry.
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
But anyways, getting back to where do we go from here? The scouting department, yes, being let go as a whole. I mean, most teams are already well into scouting right now, especially with the college basketball season starting already, EuroLeague starting already overseas. The Lakers do have a first round pick that they hopefully will utilize in the draft next year in what is considered as of now one of the deepest NBA drafts in a long time. So I'm hoping that this team will get it together as far as the scouting department ASAP. And I'm sure Mark Walter will hopefully, like you said, because you have faith in Mark Walter, that he will be able to get this done. And as far as get a team in place that will be able to analyze this correctly enough and get us players that we need next summer.
Yeah, it's likely going to be a decision between what possible number 1A or 2 can come to LA. We don't know how that's going to play out yet. As of right now, according to contracts, if all things stay the same, there won't likely be anybody of significance available this summer, again, unless somebody demands it. The Lakers are going to fine-tune everything they can fine-tune that won't be restricted. They will have the top-notch everything behind the scenes. And then I would say at the latest, 2027 will be the year they get the second horse, the second thoroughbred with Luka at the latest. But I am getting a little bit of a feeling that they might not want to wait that long, and there might be some stuff brewing out there, and that's when agents and certain people can start moving some things around there. I heard a rumor about 2 hours ago that there's some talk out of Charlotte. Now, I'm not saying that the Lakers should get him, but I'm just saying, and I was pretty sure that this was about to happen eventually at some point. I thought maybe either last year or this year. LaMelo Ball is starting to get irritated in Charlotte, so expect something to happen there.
Well, how good would that be for the Lakers? I don't think that would be needed.
No, not with the Lakers. No, he's not he wouldn't be a good fit there. No. But I'm just saying that a lot of times all it takes is one quote unquote star to start the ball rolling, and then you'll start seeing guys.
Well, Tom Knipple is scoring more than him right now, so that's got to be a blow to his ego. So I get
that. And you knew that was going to happen. LaMelo Ball has the constitution of a child, much like his father. So it's not going to be that out of the realm of the crying and whining and demanding of a player like that.
But again, the Lakers have made this decision. And again, the scouting team has virtually been cleared out. So I'm assuming they have a contingency plan in place. If the move is made by Mark Walter and his team, I fear that this move may have been made with the coordinates of Jeannie just as a power play to her brothers. I'm hoping that's not the case. And Mark Walter was heavily involved in this decision. I know if I had bought the team and two of the sons that voted against me buying the team were still there, I would have said, you know what, respectfully, you got to go, because it wasn't going to work out, because You cannot have people that are already voted against you still working for you and think you can keep it civil 100%. So I get what happened today is very justified in its making, but again, doing it during the season while the college basketball season is underway, I wish they would have made the efforts to do this a little bit sooner. Because again, like I said earlier, Joe, it just puts you behind the eight ball a little bit as far as your scouting for players, not just as far as the NBA players that you might want to bring your team in, in the summer of 26 or 27 for the first round draft choice that you have coming up next season.
You don't think that they're set up with the right people already to replace these guys?
I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they will find out if they've got their P's and Q's lined up with Mark Walter, like you say, and obviously what we've seen in the Dodgers. I'm assuming that's
when did they vote? When did they vote? I'm assuming they voted last year to approve this, right?
Whenever, yeah, before it was publicly announced that Mark Walter would be taking over, they had to have a family vote on this.
Okay, I mean, why didn't she fire him afterwards when she found out they were the only two votes? Why wait until now?
Exactly.
Maybe something happened. Maybe they pissed him off, and they're like, "We got to get him out. We can't keep him here anymore."
But the statement that was made by, was it Jesse Buss again, Desham Charania with the smack towards their sister? I don't know. Maybe she's the one that made the direct call, and they feel that she is just doing what she can to try and keep herself in whatever position she can, and thinking of herself only. But as far as anybody else being gone, I know a lot of people have been pointing towards Rob, been pointing towards Ramby, both Kurt Rambis, Linda Rambis, as far as high office positions that they have, and then also as well JJ Redick. But as of now, 11-4, fourth place in the Western Conference. I think that again, a little bit of the pressure is off Rob and JJ at this point.
JJ,
if they keep winning, Joe, it's going to be hard to get those two out.
JJ's looking like he's doing pretty well, and he has aged the last month or so. It looks like he's gotten older.
Yeah, I know. I noticed
the future for Rob Pelinka, I believe, will be no future as a Laker GM. That's coming, and then. Okay. Soon after that,
even if the Lakers keep winning.
Well, the Dodgers were winning when Ned Colletti was running things.
That is a good point. That's true.
You want your own people there, and don't think that the Guggenheims are going to start looking for the best GMs or best player personnel guys out there. Yes, I am talking about Mr. Presti out in Oklahoma City. Don't think that they're not going to go talk to him.
I would.
There's no definitive rumor or anything like that, but those guys usually hire the best people, and there's a possibility there. I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Okay. Again, I'm not just going to disagree with you because there's a track record that has been set, and despite the salary cap the way it is, a little bit different than in baseball, I don't underestimate what the success could be with Mark Walter now leading the ship. But again, very curious about the timing of when this happened, why it didn't happen before, why it happened today. There must have been some type of blow up at El Segundo either today or yesterday that necessitated this quick judgment. But again, when you vote against you being bought out to an extent, because even though they still have a minority of even Jesse and Joey still have a minority share in this team. Again, your days are numbered. You should realize your days are numbered once that comes to light by the new owner or by Jeannie herself, because Jeannie was pushing for the sale of the team to Mark Walter.
Yeah, the push has to. We have to look at this from, even if Joey and Jesse were good owners, they don't have the resources to compete in today's sports landscape. And I'll throw a bone for Jeannie, pardon the expression. Maybe the caring of the Lakers being great mattered to her too. maybe she knew she was limited. And she is. They are limited. And Joey and Jesse, the dream of keeping the family business because your father hoped that you would be that. If Dr. Buss really thought that they would be capable of running things, I'm pretty sure, because Dr. Buss was pretty smart, he would have set it up that way, but he didn't. And he set it up in a certain way where there was a collective and there had to be votes and there had to be certain decisions made by certain family members to maintain the team's excellence. It's just the trust fund babies never usually play as well as their parents, and this was one of them. Jeannie had a talent for certain things in the business. I didn't think so. I think she was extremely privileged because she was who she was. That might be mean and condescending, whatever. But I don't think she did anything special. She never did anything special as an owner. And it's more headache and drama with her. And it started before we even knew who Jeannie was. I mean, how do you date the coach and you're the owner? And how are there rumors with you doing things with players? I mean, come on. That's low rent, trashy stuff, guys. She told you who she was a long time ago, but we didn't really hear about it as much. We didn't have the internet as prevalent as it is now. There was the internet in the late 90s. You know, you heard of things, but it's not like it is now where you can get information like that and you find out about things, right? It's not that there's a lot of just stupid stuff. You want to put leadership on someone that makes decisions like that? That's not. And I'm not saying you got to be a saint. I'm not saying you got to be married with children and be like all buttoned up politician. No, I'm not saying that. But it doesn't look right when it's the coach, when it's a player. It just that always was weird to me back in the day. So as things progressed, you started hearing about how Dr. Buss was worried about Phil Jackson taking over because they were together. Now you got this whole thing going. Dr. Buss doesn't know what the hell to do now. He's got to deal with this. And in the end, the assessment of who's in charge and how things are run, again, it was run by the children of the genius, and the children of the genius were exactly that and nothing else.
So why would they think these two children have the idea that Dr. Buss's idea was for them to run the basketball operations one day? And obviously, if that's the case, a certain individual Buss named Jeannie, if that was the intent of Dr. Buss himself, why wasn't it put on paper? And why ultimately did Jeannie derail this idea that her father had?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody. I don't know if I don't really. We don't really know if that's what Dr. Buss wanted.
Yeah, well, we don't know that for sure. It's just again.
But common sense tells me if that was what he wanted, he would have set it up that way. So if he really wanted that, why didn't he set it up that way?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Like I said, why wasn't it put on paper?
Yeah, it's just I'm not going to say that there wasn't hope maybe from his pops that they would run it, but it's irrelevant. Even if they were capable of running the team, they don't have enough resource in today's sports landscape to run this thing, especially the Lakers. They would have lived a miserable life. I mean, I guess they could have been like Jerry Jones or Mike Brown in Cincinnati or the Bidwells or the McCaskies, those horrible owners the last, 50 billion years. But we as Laker fans are fortunate that Jeannie grew enough of a brain to know that this team needed to go to someone else that had the resources, and thank God she sold it to, in my view, the best owner in all of sports, not just basketball. And you guys are going to see it. I know some of you are not Dodger fans, but my God, guys, these guys took over the Dodgers April 30th, 2012. They've never missed the playoffs since then. These guys are running a clinic in terms of how to run a franchise. So they're going to do the same for the Lakers. And it's going to be a little easier. People think it's going to be harder because there's a cap. Guys, in basketball, you have 5 guys on the court. If you get 2 of the best players on the planet on the same team, and you're able to build around it because you're not worried about a luxury tax or whatever, and you're drafting well, which these guys have gotten. I mean, it's a paradox, isn't it? They get all the players, according to what everybody says, right? Even though those players that they get are discarded by the teams that they were from. Hi, Atlanta. Hi, Boston. Hi, Anaheim. Just saying, these guys were not taken care of by the teams they were at. Oh, so the Dodgers take care of them, and all of a sudden, it's buying this and buying that. Well, why don't these billionaires buy their own players that they brought in, their own homegrown guys? You don't want them? We'll take them. Cool. So, what is the next step? What the next step is to continue the purge, and then you put in the guys that you want, which is, naturally, right? New ownership, going to put in their own guys. And then you get rid of the cancers out of the house, out of the body, and then you start focusing on what the Dodgers have been doing, which is back to the paradox, is they're not only getting the best players that are discarded by their teams, they also arguably have the best farm system. So now what are you going to do, Gerald? Oklahoma City has shown they can do it, right? They draft well, right?
Yes.
So imagine this. The Lakers being the best team with, let's say, 2 star players, let's say at some point here, and then they're going to have the best drafts, some of the best young players, best drafts to boot. How does that play into this? Well, when you draft good players and they're able to perform well early on, those contracts aren't as big. Now your depth goes up. Now your ability to not have to worry about getting into the first, second apron, whatever it is, those all now are kind of handled a little bit. That is what's coming. That's how they're going to combat the things that this particular leadership couldn't. Because they're too busy talking about, did Joey and Jesse say this, and then Rob say, no, do this? We still don't really know what happened with some of these draft picks. We even had a schmuck on here talk about how LeBron made the Lakers draft Dalton Connect. Seriously, you're a stupid idiot, okay? And you talk out of your ass, and this is why the internet sucks ass, because an idiot can come on and say something, and then you have 400,000 idiots who want to believe it, and then they'll spread it like the gospel. What does LeBron James have to do with Dalton Connect? Did LeBron James even know who Dalton Connect was a week before the draft? Probably not. So we're not going to have to worry about any of this. Is Jesse doing this? Is Joey doing? Like, who gives a shit? I don't even know what. We don't even know what Brandon Gomes, that's the GM of the Dodgers. We don't know what Stan Kasten is doing. It's just like politics, guys. When you start hearing too much of the politics of things, that means shit is bad. Politics, leadership roles in those areas, when you don't hear things like when an offensive line is really good in football and you don't hear a lot about what's going on with them, that means they're doing their job. You only hear about Andrew Friedman doing what he does because he's the player personnel guy. That's his job. But Stan Kasten, Mark Walter, they show up. You'll see them at special gatherings or obviously getting the trophies for the World Series and things like that. But I don't hear anything about Mark Walter or Stan Kasten. Brandon Gomes, very little, right? It's Andrew Friedman that will get during the offseason, getting players, and then you hear a little bit about him during the trade deadline, and that's it. Instead, you all are having to hear about Joey and Jesse and Jeannie and Johnny and what. I mean, it's like, really? We're 11-4. The Lakers are 11-4, and 90% of the roster has been in and out. And this is the shit you're talking about. This all needs to go. We're done. I'm done. I don't care about the Buss siblings. I don't care. I cared about Dr. Buss. And I'm sorry that I'm disrespecting his children, but I'm not happy with how they run things. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm sure they're fine people and, drinking wine and eating at restaurants, probably. But the way they've run the Lakers is not up to snuff. Sorry.
Okay. No, I'm just listening. Just again, for some of us that do care about what's going on, because for us as content creators, it does create content, and people are fascinated by what's going on behind the scenes in El Segundo. And yes, you might have related to what's going on in politics, but then again, that's why a lot of people like going on and finding out what's going on behind the scenes in the world of politics, just like people want to know what's going on behind the scenes of the Los Angeles Lakers and how it's being run. It's just that simple. It's natural human curiosity, Joe, and it's being played out in a public forum, as we saw earlier today with the firing of Jesse and Joey Buss.
Yeah, it's the drama that most people do like. Enjoy it, because this is going to be gone soon, and that's a fact. And it's going to be good stuff. Good stuff, as in you're not going to hear shit behind the scenes other than normal stuff. Who they're going to be drafting, who they may be acquiring. I think the only drama you'll have probably after LeBron is gone is probably JJ Redick being an asshole to somebody, which if he's winning, he can be an asshole all he wants.
Again, Ralph, yes, the Pistons are doing extremely well, leading the Eastern Conference. He does like seeing the Pistons doing good. So,
you guys, man, I love my family, but my God, they're fair weather fans.
How much better is the West?
Hey, Ralph, I'll give you a hug next week when I see you for Thanksgiving.
You might have to, or a turkey leg or something like that.
Because, you guys, pick a team already, man. Like you do in college football. I don't see you guys cheering for Michigan State or Montana State or Utah State. Stick with one team, man.
I would just say this, Ralph. Right now, if we were able to look at it, OKC, Denver, Houston, the Lakers. You may want to throw Minnesota, San Antonio if they're fully healthy. All those teams, I think, are better than any team in the East right now, and that's it. It looks like that's the case to me. But if that's the case to you, you guys go ahead and let us know. But if you think Detroit, who again, I think Detroit's really playing well right now. Obviously, their record indicates that. But when you're playing a lot of those teams down at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, there's some easy wins on your schedule that you can really pad your schedule with if you're an Eastern Conference team. But I just think right now, again, there's 4 or 5 teams in the West that I think are better than any team in the East right now.
Oklahoma City, Denver, Houston, Lakers are pretty. I mean, you could argue that those are the 4 best teams in the league right now. I mean, it's not even close. Detroit has the youth. Detroit has the enthusiasm.
I think Detroit needs one more big player before you have that conversation.
I feel like every team is kind of there, aren't they? I mean, even the Lakers are in that area too.
Yeah, that's true. I think, because I know that we had some individuals tonight still thinking that the Lakers already with LeBron are number one and overall in the NBA, and I can't get there myself because of what we saw with Oklahoma City, because they didn't even have their number two player. They didn't have three of their top rotation players in the league in the game when they beat the Lakers. And yes, LeBron coming back does provide a major boost for this team, especially if he plays according to what we saw the other night. I would like to continue that, but the Lakers, I still think, are right in that mix. And again, if we're rating things out as who are the best teams in the NBA, I think that at least the top four, including the Lakers, would be at the top of the mix.
It's very early, and the history of the NBA the last few years is who's going to last. It's clearly an open run for everybody, including the Pistons, if they continue their play.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The Lakers still need to get one more guy, in my view, that can play defense on the wing. If they can do that before the deadline, I think they're in really good shape at that point.
You're
Especially
not concerned with the front court as far as maybe being in Oklahoma City.
you can't. Unfortunately, the Lakers are not capable of stacking there. But
I mean, Houston kills. They are on a record pace as far as offensive rebounds right now,
and that's something the Lakers still struggle with. So the Lakers are going to need to get lucky. If that continues in the playoffs, they're going to need to get lucky and avoid Houston.
I mean, that's a killer job. I mean, seriously, now that's part of their offense. That's why they have one of the highest offense in the league, is because of what they get in offensive rebounds right now.
It's a good start, but it needs to. You have a team in Houston that has players that generally don't play a lot throughout the year. The Aquaman is someone who's injury prone. You still have an older Durant. Şengün is somebody that I think they're going to need to lean on a lot. He's young. He's in his prime. He's definitely an X factor in that in terms of what's going on. I still don't know if Fred VanVleet's loss is going to affect them. It's championship pedigree there. I don't know yet. They're playing like they're doing okay, but I just gotta. You can't really assess this after 15 games. You got to see.
Of course.
You got to see how this plays out at least by game 70, because you got to see how these guys. They're already setting up. The Steve Kerr's is already setting up excuses on why guys are not playing every game, and it could be it could go one of two ways. One is it could go on deaf ears and Silver doesn't care because he wants to make money, or Adam Silver and the NBA. And again, this is the thing that pissed me off about this, and I know why they did it, because they wanted to close that $76 billion TV deal, but I don't see why they couldn't have closed it with some demands of, hey, can we get scheduling? You want to solve this injury issue? Solve the travel issue then. That's the stuff that gets to you. The travel. When you talk to Phil Jackson about why he didn't come back the third, the fourth time, whatever, he didn't want to fly to Cleveland anymore. It wasn't about coaching and dealing with personalities and egos. It was the travel. So if these pansies can't play 82 games a year, making $60-70 million a year, then placate them, I guess, and cut the travel. How do you do that? Stop traveling across the country. Make it more regional. Make it more special, that the Western Conference plays more Western, Eastern Conference play more Eastern, and then it kind of gives it that old NL-AL battle in baseball where you didn't have interleague play. But then even when they did in the late 90s, it was minimal. So you still had something special where the NL champ meets the AL champ. They hadn't played that year. Who's going to win? Who's going to adapt to the DH in certain games? Who's going to adapt to the pitcher hitting in certain games? There was a little bit of mystery there. So create this, and you'll create rivalries better that way when it's regionally. Imagine playing the Kings 8 times a year, or the Suns, or the Spurs. At some point we're going to hate these teams because we're seeing them all the time. And on back-to-back games, try and figure out to have it back. You've done it in spurts. Make it more prominent. And maybe they have, and maybe it's too difficult, but figure it out. You got all that money, put some analytics to it. Back-to-backs really making these guys sad and injured. Figure out back-to-back in the same city, or at least back-to-back in Phoenix, not in freaking Utah or Minneapolis. How about that? Does that help? I don't know. That's something I think that's a good question. I would love to sit with Adam Silver and ask those questions. I think those are viable questions. How about this, Commissioner? I was curious, have you guys discussed having more regional scheduling? Have you discussed having all back-to-backs be in the same city? Is it possible? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not possible. How about this? How about you cut in half all the East Coast games? You're talking about 30 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
From one to the other?
Mm-hmm.
So cut it to 15 now. That's 15 less games that you got to deal with going across country. I'm trying to find a solution. It's one of my good friends said once. He goes, "Look, if you have a problem with something, at least come with a solution." I've been trying to put a solution here, but I haven't been able to get any answers on whether what I think would work is possible. I don't know that either. I don't do the schedule, so I haven't been able to find out who or ask anybody that would know.
He's playing 8 seasons. Ralph, you said 5 seasons. It's 8 seasons overall for Mikal Bridges. So yeah, he's played in quite a few. Yes, he's been very durable, and we'll see how long that continues. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Trayvon says the problem is the schedule. The Lakers will play in New York in December, then go. Yeah, because they're basically on the road for almost all of their games in December. They have 2 separate road trips separated by whatever's going to happen with the NBA Cup. Because there is, as you see, if you take a look at their schedule, there's a period of time that has yet to be determined based off of the NBA Cup action, which they lead their division right now at 2-0 with the biggest differential in points. So we'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. But most of the month they are on the road. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out, and if those soft tissue injuries which have plagued the league, Joe, because now everybody's worried about those soft tissue injuries becoming something worse, those calf strains becoming an Achilles tear, so on and so forth. Yeah, absolutely. It will be interesting to see how this continues to play itself out.
So running back and forth, didn't they do that in the 80s? Wasn't the game more of a back and forth?
Yeah. I mean, look at the Denver Nuggets in the Doug Moe era.
Okay, so let's look at some stuff.
Look
here.
at the Lakers fast break as far as from the 80s. Showtime. I mean, they didn't walk the ball up.
So who ran more than Magic in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody ran more than him, right? So let's look at Magic's numbers here. Okay. Rookie year, played 77 games. He had a injury on his leg in his second year. He only played 37. Okay. That was the only year where he didn't play a full season. So after that, he played 78, 79, 67, 77, 72, 80, 72, 77, 79, and 79. And I'm not counting the one when he came back in 96. So Magic basically averaged 75 games a season. on the years he wasn't the 1 year he wasn't injured.
Mm-hmm.
So he missed 7 games a year running nonstop with less advancement in medicine, food, all these things. Let's look at James Worthy. Because James Worthy ran just as much. James Worthy. So James Worthy came in 1983, and he actually got injured towards the end of the year, but still played 77 games his rookie year. Then he went, and then he played 82, 80, 75, 82, 75, 81, 80, 78. And I remember he was injured in 92, only played 54 games. Came back, played 82 games and 80 games to finish off his career. He averaged 78 games a season. So he essentially missed 4 games a year. Let's look at Byron Scott. Byron Scott. Byron Scott came into the league in 84, played 74 games his rookie year. Then it was 81, 76, 82, 81, 74, 77, 82, 82. Had a injury. I remember the last year was in LA. He was injured that year. It was 58 games. And then he played 67, 80, 80, 79 between Indiana and Vancouver, and then his last year in LA. But through the 80s, he was running the Showtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 84 to 91 with Magic there, running Showtime. He was 82, 80, 77, 74, 81, 82, 80, 76, 81, 74. Pretty much averaged right around 77, 78 games a year. Who else should we bring up? Should we let me do one more. Let me do Michael Cooper.
Of course. And I'm not disagreeing. And remember, there were times that they even played back in those days, I believe, not just back to back, but back to back to back.
So this is a good one. Michael Cooper. Michael Cooper was a second round pick, I think, out of Oregon, right? Or New Mexico, sorry.
New Mexico.
Yeah, so he didn't play a lot his rookie year. But after that, first year Magic came in, he played 82, 81, 76, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82. Michael Cooper didn't miss a game from 1983 to 1987. And then he got injured, I remember, in 88, played 61 games, and then finished his career off with 80 and 80. So I want to know why these guys were able to play running and gunning. No one ran more than Showtime. Would you agree, Gerald? You were there.
I agree.
Okay.
I mean, you could say maybe Denver, but that's
Denver too. No, you're right. Denver did run with Alex English and Kiki Vandu, all those guys. Yes,
Michael
very
Adams,
true.
Fat Lever.
Yes, you could say even Dallas was like that too.
Yeah,
with Blackman and why am I drawing a blank?
I'm thinking James Donaldson. You'll have to forgive me.
The
Roy
one
Tarpley and all
the
that.
guy that ended up being a Piston after his Dallas stint. He was picked ahead of Isaiah in 81. Mark Aguirre. There you go. Sorry.
There you go.
Mark Aguirre. So
for Adrian Dantley,
I would like a case study on how they were able to play 82 games regularly or high 70s, and they were running just as much in a time where and got paid much less at a time where their advancements and travel was as prehistoric as it is now, obviously. Hey, Craig, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Good to hear you. Good to type you. Type you. Yeah.
Good to type you, exactly.
Yeah.
Good to type you. There you go. Again, Joe will be having a Joe Soro experiment tomorrow night. So Son, he'll answer all of your questions, no matter how descriptive they are. I will go ahead and say again, if you've not heard the news,
Ralph, if they're more talented and skilled, I'm still trying to figure out why are they getting hurt then? I gave you a good example of a team for an entire decade that was running just as much, if not more, with less medical advancements. These guys were not eating, likely, were not eating chicken, vegetables, and turmeric or turmeric, whatever the hell that new fad is, where they eat with the drinks. I mean, they're not doing that stuff. So what is it? I want to know. This is a return volley to Steve Kerr. I don't. I want to know. Turmeric. That's it. Thank you. What is that vinegar and that vinegar drink that everybody goes crazy about? What's that one? You can't take a shot of it without water because it'll burn your throat or some shit.
Yeah, it's probably not good tasting, is what it is. But supposedly it's good for you. I've heard of it, but I'll just say this again: if you haven't heard the news, the reason why we're on tonight was we were going to do this episode.
Did you hear the good
on
news?
Austin Reeves,
He has risen.
Austin Reeves, but it actually, and for the news came out earlier today that Jesse and Joey Buss were relieved of their duties along with most of the scouting department, which again, that's the part. Again, the sibling rivalry. We've been hearing about the Busses for years now. We've heard about what's gone on behind the scenes, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And again, they made their bed when they voted against the sale for Mark Walter. They made that bed, and they today they lied in it. But the rest, or virtually the rest of the scouting department being gutted right now seems very curious timing, and I'll just leave it at that.
Well, apparently at 4:50 p.m. this evening, the NBA had made an announcement that they've had the highest opening month of viewership in 15 years.
Okay.
So we don't know really anything. People don't know anything. We don't know.
And they'll let you know that when they get those kind of ratings, Joe.
Yeah, understand
first to
something.
know.
Yeah, understand something here, guys. These guys have geniuses working behind the scenes. They know exactly what they're doing.
Evidently. So we'll see what happens again. See if there's a replacement team in place, if they're going to get that sooner rather than later. Who will be running the scouting department? Who will be the Lakers scouts going forward? We'll keep you updated on that. But once again, it is the Lakers fast break. They need more gambling. Don't get Joe started.
Here's the interesting part about that is it a coincidence that the ratings were high when LeBron was out? So if the ratings dip in December, now what?
That's a very good question.
You have the marquee player of your league. LeBron is still the marquee player. You can have an argument a little bit with Steph Curry, but it's still LeBron to me. If the ratings drop in December, because it's going to drop in January when the NFL playoffs probably start, right?
And now that they've taken over Christmas, they've taken over that day as well.
But I think that'd be kind of funny. The coincidence, could it be a coincidence? Maybe, but I don't know.
Who knows? But we will wait and see, my friend. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. I do want to mention again, the Lakerholics are scheduled, as you see on your channel there on YouTube, scheduled for 11 a.m. on Saturday. They said they're going to be there talking about, of course, LeBron, his first action, what's up ahead for LeBron and the Lakers now that LeBron is back in the lineup. And then, of course, what's going on behind the scenes with the Buss brothers, because they want to talk about it, because they care about what's going on behind the scenes, because it's very interesting to see all this dirty laundry being put out there for all to see. And I'll just leave it at that. But Joe, great to have you on a little bit of short notice. I know you came up from SD to go ahead and do this here today, so I do appreciate you making the drive. Big shout out to Ralph. And Ralph, he is coming to see you for the Thanksgiving holiday. So better get all the food ready. Watch out. Here he comes. But we'll be back Sunday for the game against Utah. But any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
Yes, enjoy the transition in Lakerland. It will be for the best. I'm
Well,
I'm more
no one has ever doubted you on that. No
I'm
one has ever
more
doubted you on that.
I'm excited about something that doesn't get talked about. I'm kind of, I don't know why I'm fixated on it, but I'm looking forward to, if it's possible, for the Guggenheims to buy out AEG in terms of the arena and the land. I feel that if that happens, that area is going to get cleaned up. I don't know what AEG is doing. I don't know if they're struggling. I don't follow their stocks or anything, or their business, but the team is going to be fine. That's just a matter of time. But I would love for Mark Walter and the Guggenheims to buy out AEG and have the arena, own the land, and then maybe even own the Kings, and just have it all in the family. I think that would be the perfect kind of bow on this. That's
might happen.
That's the button for the night.
And that is the button indeed. But once again, it is, of course, Joe Sorrell. Please go ahead and check out more what he has to say tomorrow night on the Joe Sorrell Experiment. Theo, no worries, man. Don't worry at all, Theo. You can always rewind to our entire show. You can always go back. That's the great thing about YouTube. You can always just hit that meter going back to all the way to the start of the show. It's not a problem, Theo, but we were glad to have you here anyways. Please make sure you like and subscribe before you head on out. It is greatly appreciated. And of course, you want to become a member, because I'm trying to throw a bunch of content that's for our members here on the Lakers Fast Break, whether it's Pop Culture Cosmos, NBA Observations, PCC Multiverse, Inside Sports Fantasy Football. You guys are getting all this stuff among the first right there for you. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, I'm throwing that stuff for you guys first, or among the first right there for you, for just $2.99 a month indeed. And then, of course, if you can like and subscribe again to Joe's channel, to my channel, and join us on our playback channels for all the fun as well. It's greatly appreciated. Joe, I mean, between your playback channel, I know a lot of people gotten upset about our playback channels in recent days, but because the fact that we're not all together as one big happy family, it's not intentional, Joe. It's the fact that they only give you out 20 VIPs, and John's channel is now got a lot of people watching it. Your channel's got a lot of people watching it with the Australians. Big shout out to Vari and Mark. And so it's mine. We just want people to be a good part of the community when they're there.
They don't help by giving us 20 VIPs for a crowd that has been extended to, on a regular basis, 30. So I don't know what the hell those guys do. It's just more corporate, useless scumbags that just don't really help anybody that isn't up to snuff for their needs. It's like, dude, how do you build, from the grassroots? This is what we're doing. I don't know, whatever. Fuck them. Deal with it.
It is a free service.
Seriously, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, you're asking people to go on your site so you can get traffic, yet you're not giving us the opportunity to bring people. Isn't that what this is supposed to be for? I'm trying to get common sense into this. Okay, we're starting to get 30 and 40 people on this. Can you give us some more VIPs? Or are you worried about your bandwidth? Or you want a bunch of... Because I've seen the shitheads that have 500 people on their shows. It's a bunch of slobbering, illiterate dumbasses talking. Oh, look, he's doing this. Like, not one coherent conversation, and those assholes have 400, 500 people listening to them. Is that what we need to do? Do we need to be sloth to get numbers? Sorry, I just don't. I don't get it. We have intelligent conversations. We talk shit. We can actually speak English. That's the other thing too. What the fuck is wrong with these people? They can't even speak English. What? Go back to school. Just don't go to school in California.
Oh, that's too funny. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro along with me, Gerald Glassford. Want to thank you so much for listening. Truly appreciate you doing so. And Joe, again, go ahead and check out his channel tomorrow night. I don't know if I can make it because the Hawaii game might interject. Plus Formula One right now. My back and forth is being hampered a lot by Formula One. Today I saw a pretty nasty accident near the Formula One track that wasn't caused by Formula One cars, but 10 car accidents there right near the strip are always interesting to see. I'll say that. But I will try to join you if I can. But don't forget, Joe is coming on tomorrow on his channel, the Joe Soro Experiment. That's on his channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe there. On this channel, we got you covered on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. for the Lakerholics, then Sunday for the game against Utah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. This 5 days off deal between games when the Lakers have already played 3 back-to-backs, it just does not make sense, Joe. Just does not make sense.
A question to ask Adam Silver: why does those gaps happen when you're trying to keep your guys fresh? It has to. I'm assuming it's probably just not being able to get the arenas a certain time, right? Maybe there's a concert.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So
they just don't get
but
it far enough in advance.
but a $76 billion TV deal, paying these guys billions of dollars. I would like to think there need to be some kind of figuring out there. You have the resources, or just the players are just weak, which is the easiest way to lean on that. Dude, you're getting paid 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million dollars. I think you can play basketball 3-4 days a week.
You would think. You would think.
How's hockey? Do these guys take days off every other day in hockey?
I don't hear about the rash of well, I mean, that's a much more physical sport, but yeah, I hear injuries. Like for instance, I follow the Golden Knights, but they're legit injuries. They're not soft tissue injuries. I understand why now that the calf strains are happening because they're all freaked out because of what happened to Halliburton and of course Tatum and Lillard because those calf injuries became Achilles injuries. So I understand why that they're being overcautious on those soft tissue injuries, but the injuries in hockey and football are much more legit. If you compared to what we see in the NBA, I mean, just the physical nature allots for that. I mean, you see fractures and you see tears and you see concussions and see a lot more of that on a regular basis with both of those two sports just because of their physicality. But I do not see the great amount of soft tissue injuries that we're seeing right now in the NBA.
It's happening, so something's wrong.
Something is wrong indeed.
Is that the training either needs to change or Adam Silver went from 82 games to 85, possible 85 games. That was his response to all this. Let's play more games. Let's play an NBA Cup championship that doesn't count, and let's play 1 to 2 play-ins that are extra. Good for you. Good that works.
I as far as the injuries are concerned, I see just the way it's going right now. I don't see a lot of ankle turns as much as I used to, I think, or maybe that's just a perception I have, but it's strange because a lot of them now are just all low tops. For me, it always worked better when I was wearing high tops as opposed to low tops. Low tops left me more susceptible to turning my ankles. So I am surprised with the amount of guys that wearing low tops, which is basically in the entire league at this point, that we don't see more turned ankles on a regular basis.
Well, they
That's
wrap
the
their
one.
ankles too. I think that helps. I don't know about the soft tissue stuff. I don't know about the Achilles issues that they've been having and calf issues. Something needs to
Mhm.
change in terms of their preparation and their. I don't know. I don't know if they're doing it. I really don't.
Well, hopefully the Lakers can avoid those type of injuries, but we will see. But once again, great to have you here. Come back again for us on Saturday at 11 a.m. for this channel. Again, hit up Joe tomorrow night if he can do it for his channel, the Joe Sorrell Experiment, and then the game playback or here on YouTube on the Lakers Fast Break, and then also Joe Sorrell Experiment on playback as well. So looking forward to it. Again, if any more spiciness comes out of El Segundo in regards to anybody else being fired, are the Ramby days numbered? Is Rob's day numbered? Is G's days numbered? We'll find out. But again, we will report it to you whether you care or not. And I'm assuming that you're watching that you do care at least something about it, at least to hear about it, at least to know about it, and at least to go ahead and find out about it from all of us right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.